Hey babes, my name's Hannah.
And my name's Chasity.
Welcome back to Bookish Babes. Today is a video that we've been waiting for forever. We're finally gonna do our book babble on The Wrong Family by Tarryn Fisher. I finished it like a day or two ago. She finished it like a week or so ago.
Yeah. I couldn't stop.
We're excited. Once I got into it, I was like,
yeah.
And it's like that for me with every book, you know, the first couple chapters is just kind of like, you know, backstory, kind of opening up the characters, but then once I got into the actual meat of the story, it was like, okay, I have to just finish this all tonight.
Fair warning, we're about to talk about The Wrong Family by Tarryn Fisher, and if you have not read it, you need to stop this video immediately.
We got part of the way through the video and realized that we just spoiled a bunch of stuff. So like, we know all of our book babbles are always going to be spoiler filled.
Yeah.
That's why we make separate videos for books, is when we want to talk about the details. But
if you're new
realized
here,
that, yeah, if you're new here and you don't know that, all of our book babbles are full of spoilers, so don't watch this video unless you've read this book. And if you haven't read it, go read it and then come back.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway.
The Wrong Family by Tarryn Fisher.
Yes. So.
I do have some actual notes on this.
I do also have notes, so let me open up to my notes. First of all, I think we should talk about what we rated it. So what did you rate it?
A 5-star.
Oh, I have my notes. I gave it 4.5, and I'm going to talk about why, and it was more of a personal thing than it was anything else. Obviously, like, I tell everybody this, there's nobody writes like Tarryn does.
No.
Nobody writes fucked up characters like Tarryn does. And I don't know what it is, but no matter what she writes, it'll always be at least a 4-star for me, simply because of her writing style and how, I don't even know how to describe it, but she just writes so well. She truly is like an artist in the way that she writes. She is.
She really is.
Yeah.
I think she has such a wonderful grasp on like humanity.
Yeah.
Where she's very good at making her characters relatable, because they all have
even
flaws.
though they're all fucked up. Yeah.
They all have flaws. They're very real. They have horrible
And these two characters, of course, are so damaged that it was interesting to see the same sort of situation going on, but from two different perspectives. And I like that she took that turn with the book, because for so long you kind of didn't know. Like, I remember texting you and I remember saying, like, there was a good portion of the video where it wasn't very clear whether or not they knew Juno was in the house. So I was like, do they know she's here?
Like, yeah, at first, you know, there were little crumbs. So it was like, oh, okay, Nigel and Winnie made this apartment.
Yeah.
Oh, so I was like, okay, so she lives in the apartment.
Yeah, she rents it out. And then I was like, oh, no, they don't know this bitch is in the house.
No, they don't know. What?
And then I was like, oh, she's not staying in the apartment. She's living in the fucking crawl space. Where are we at?
So the first time, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think the first time I realized that they did not know that she was there was, there was a real tense moment with Winnie and Nigel, and it was their anniversary, and she wanted to go out, and he started talking about the leftovers, and he swore that there were more left.
That too is where I was
and I was like, oh, I know, Juno ate some.
And I remember wondering why she said it was risky to eat those leftovers. And I was like, are they, you know, maybe she like lives in the apartment, she comes over there and like steals their food. Like,
yeah, maybe weird, Winnie's a control freak.
Yeah.
Maybe they have different containers that are marked, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
well, and the way that Juno was describing Winnie too, it's totally realistic that she would be such a control freak that she wouldn't let her eat. But it's funny because then when you saw the story from Winnie's point of view, like, I really liked Winnie. I did. I did too.
I think the flaws that she had as a like a married successful woman were real. Although there was something weird about the kid the entire time. I was always weirded out by the kid, Sam.
Yeah. Because I think Sam knew. Sam, obviously, you know, you're raised by two people. And now, I wouldn't say Nigel is broken necessarily, but Winnie was a very broken character.
Yeah.
And so, and I mean, Samuel, no matter how much of a front she put on, Samuel was raised by that.
And yeah, so, and he knew.
It's normal for him to be a little off.
Yeah.
And, you know, for most of the book, you think he's not their biological child. And I appreciate that Tarryn didn't explain everything, because there was that point in the book where Juno was talking about how Sam couldn't find his birth certificate. Do you remember? And it was like, you know, Winnie said it was damaged.
It was damaged in like a fire or
I think it was mold.
Flood. Oh, mold.
It was
yeah,
mold.
Something like that.
And Juno said, well, Winnie's a control freak. There's no way that she wouldn't have ordered a new birth certificate from him. But it turns out that
she didn't.
That she really didn't. And so
because she's very
I don't know. She kind of just doesn't want to bring any extra attention to herself in that way because of...
I don't think she would have wanted people to realize that she lost it or whatever.
Maybe.
She's like...
That's probably it.
She's very... Oh, God, what is that word?
Just a perfectionist. She wants to keep that front on that nothing is wrong in her life.
She's manic about it.
Yes.
That's what it is. She's very manic about it.
Much to her disadvantage, because if she had just once in a while let somebody know that some shit was going on, maybe people wouldn't have held her to such a high standard. And she could have been more honest.
That family that she came from.
Oh my
Winnie's
God.
family was
the
worst. I was disgusted by them. But I'm jumping ahead of myself.
Yeah.
One of my notes is that I really appreciate that Juno has lupus. And that she touches on how difficult that disease is and talks about the pain that she's in.
Especially for an underprivileged woman. You know, and because I think we always forget when we see like a homeless person or somebody who is underprivileged that they also have, added on to that, they have all the same issues that we would have. Yeah. So like the fact that she is homeless and she has lupus. You know, we never think about that. We never think that they could also have something else going on.
Yeah. And I say this all the time. Everyone, especially in today's day and age, like you're a paycheck away from being homeless. So
truly, it's like if 2020 has taught us anything, it's how quickly and how easily shit can just be ripped away from us. And we see that with Juno. She was a very successful family woman. You know, she had a great job. She had a family that she loved, and just, I mean, she was just a fucked up person like a lot of us are, and she kind of gave in to those urges that she was feeling, and then she lost everything. And it's that easy. It's that easy. If you don't have people in your corner, it's that easy to become homeless. To be such an educated woman and to be homeless.
Yeah. I mean,
so I appreciated that. I appreciated that was the light that she shown on, because I think so often, and I'm guilty of it too, just coming from the family that I came from, where I have somebody very close to me in my family who is an addict, and he was homeless for a long time, and so that when I think of homeless people, I think of the one that I knew personally who was an addict. And I think that's what a lot of people think, is like, oh, they're drug addicts. Not that they don't deserve, you know, a life if they're drug addicts, but that's just kind of the association that I think a lot of people make. And I like that she said, like, no, this was an educated woman with a family and a nice career, and then she made a mistake, and now here she is.
It cost her everything.
Yeah. So I appreciated that aspect of it.
It literally cost her everything. She's
homeless and sick.
And then now she's out and she's homeless and she's sick and she's dying.
Yeah.
And she has no idea where her children are.
And isn't that incredible that we love this character so much? Yet if you look at, like, from the outside, I mean, she was literally squatting in these people's home. She was stalking them. She was being kind of very almost creepy with their son, you know, befriending him in a very, like, kind of like an inappropriate relationship with him. Not like sexually, obviously, but like, it was a very inappropriate relationship for her to have with him. And she was stealing their food. So, like, from the outside, if someone were to tell me that, I'd be like, oh, fuck this girl. But reading this book, I love her. I love Juno.
Yeah.
So,
Team Juno.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, I love Winnie, though.
I do love Winnie. Don't get me wrong. But see, here's the thing. Is one of my favorite things about this book, and Tarryn is so good at this. They really nothing really ties together in the end. Like, they still never knew that Juno was there. And now Winnie may find out after the very end of the book. She may be contacted and, like, know that there were bodies in the crawl space.
Yeah, because Juno's body was found there also. And remember he said, the new owner said that he saw, like, a ton of, like, trash and everything. So it was very obvious that somebody was living up there. because I was wondering how that was gonna work. I thought maybe Juno was gonna kill the brother and then like leave.
I thought
and
so
I was
too,
wondering
but she didn't.
if
She went back.
And she stayed, and she died there.
She died there.
So I'm wondering if she died. I don't know, I think I'd have to go back and read the scene. Yeah. Did she die when she killed him? Or did she die? She was also very injured from running from him and from him, like, he physically assaulted her. So I think she died around this, I think she died that same day that he did. I think they died around the same time. But I was wondering if they were going to pit the murder of her brother on Winnie. Because they were just going to see her brother's dead body in her old house.
Yeah, well, but the garbage was all piled up around him and on him.
Yeah.
So I really don't know if it was the same day.
Plus the garbage was from her living up there.
Yeah. But I mean, it was put over on him. So unless she did it that day and then died.
Yeah. But I like that we don't know that. Like,
we don't know that.
Yeah.
Also, I like that Juno never found out that all her theories about Winnie and the baby and Sam were wrong.
Yes. Because even at the end, she said, I don't care that that's not her biological child. Like, that's the only mother he's ever known. But really, it is.
It is his.
Yeah.
Yep. She didn't know. She never found out. We found out the story, but she never found out the story.
Yeah.
And Winnie and Nigel never knew about Juno.
Yeah.
And Sam never knew that the lady he was talking to in the park was living in his crawl space.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what happened to Dakota. And the fact that her sister and her mother tried to shame her after that man, her brother,
killed her
husband and tried to kill her.
And was going to kill her son.
Fuck that dude.
You know, went around the house looking for her son to kill him. It's just, yeah. I have to say that the reason that I knocked off that half a star, and once again, this is such a personal thing. I think it was because I read The Wives, obviously, because it had come out a year before. And the twist at the end of The Wives was like so shocking that with this one, I kind of felt like I kept waiting for a big twist and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But then again, I wasn't promised a big twist, so it's not fair of me to expect that. So that's why I feel like it's just like a personal thing. That I felt like there was never like a moment where I was like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming. Like, I could have probably from the beginning guessed that most of that stuff happened. But the reason I loved it so much is because it was written in such a way that, like, there were points where I had to put the book down. Yeah. Where I was like, oh.
So I'm real paranoid.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tarryn. Every time I hear a noise in my house, I'm like,
yeah.
Is that a person? Is that a fucking person?
Yeah. And I like that Winnie really, she did something wrong. 100%. She did something wrong. She should have called an ambulance when she found, you know, Jocelyn and her baby inside that tent. She should have. But really what she did isn't that far off of what a lot of people probably would have done. Which is just honestly seeing a baby that needed help and just doing whatever you had to do. You know? She probably wasn't thinking straight in that moment. Thinking about...
You're like, what do I do? What do I do?
She's like, this baby is about to die. I need to take care of this baby. Especially as somebody like her who wanted a baby so bad. Those maternal instincts were so strong that she just couldn't think of anything else besides getting that baby to safety.
And on top of that, she had tried to help Jocelyn. And Jocelyn had pretty much told her to get lost. So it was like, the baby or Jocelyn...
That's another thing that pissed me off was Jocelyn's mom. Suddenly wanting to be her daughter's savior after abandoning her. Like, that pissed me off. What the fuck are you doing here? You
go to your daughter at your house. Like, she was in a fucking tent. And you did nothing for her.
I stole Jocelyn's baby. I stole a homeless addict's baby to try to bring him to safety.
Yeah, I didn't steal him. I tried to take him to the hospital.
Right. I feel like I raised him, which I appreciate that, because at first I was like, oh, this bitch is crazy. She's raising this child. It's not hers.
Yeah, that I was like, she would have lost all points with me.
Yeah, but she didn't.
She just happened to get pregnant after that.
Yeah. I don't know. I just thought the whole point. But then again, that's her point of view. You know what I mean? That part of the story is in her head. What if Sam really was Jocelyn's baby and she made up this story in her head to make herself feel better? We'll never know. Because then why didn't she have his birth certificate?
Well, whose bones were in the crawl space then? That was not animal bones. That
It was the
Juno found. It was the baby.
Juno found bones?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that
When
part.
she was crawling away from Dakota.
Oh.
She had talked about how she never went in that one corner because some big animal had died there. And they were little bones. And that was not a manimal. That was the baby.
Oh, okay.
That's where Nigel put them bones.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was wondering that too, where he buried the baby.
In the crawl space, in the corner that Juno wouldn't go in. You gotta reread that scene when she's being chased by Dakota. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because there were parts of that where I had to skip because like it was like kind of overwhelming for me to read.
I'm telling you, that's where it was.
That's funny.
Let the dead deal with the dead.
I don't think I have anything else to say about it.
I don't either. Okay, I'll do my outro and then I'll find it for you. Because now I'm determined. Okay, so now that we've totally just gone on and on with how much we loved this book,
we're just gonna stop there.
We're just gonna stop there. Mm-hmm. Guys, I really hope you have read it if you've made it this far in the video.
Otherwise, there's no point in you reading it now because we just talked about the whole thing.
So, leave us some comments down below. Let us know what you thought. If you had any theories, who your favorite character was. Mm-hmm. Definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button and like. And hit that bell to know when we post next, which we are sticking to our regular Monday schedule. Yep. But definitely put the bell on anyways. And then just let us know what you have to say about the wrong family. Mm-hmm. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.